Hey, boo.
So we hope everybody is warm. We are just finishing up our portion of the ice storm of 21, at least the first ice storm here of 21.
Hopefully the last. But...
Hopefully the last. And Glenn and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of go over some of the stuff that we think, our opinion, that you need to get ready before an ice storm.
Yeah. And a lot of this stuff we already, well, really all of this stuff we already had. We use it camping, so if you're a camper, definitely you've already got a lot of this stuff on hand. But if not, you need to think about getting some of these things.
Some of it is very simple,
yeah.
You know. The things you actually need as opposed to the things you want, you know, that's where stuff starts getting complicated when you get to the wants.
Yeah.
So we started off with shelter is the first thing. Of course, everybody hopefully is in a house.
Yeah.
But if you don't have electricity, you need a way to stay warm. Sleeping bags, a wool blanket, or inexpensive. You can get surplus wool blankets for like $20 or $30, and they keep you warm. They keep you warm even when they're wet. They're fire retardant. But a good sleeping bag, even better, a down sleeping bag. Both those things are something you can keep in your car. But they're just good to have. I mean, if you happen to get stranded on the side of the road, especially in weather like this, having a blanket in there could be extremely important.
And there are probably a lot of people that were stranded on the side of the road.
There are a lot of people stranded here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, waiting on tow trucks.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Nobody here knows how to drive on ice, so we
No.
have a terrible time here.
Okay.
And then a tent.
Yeah. Yeah. A tent, I think, is going to be something that would be wonderful if you had small kids at home. You could turn something from a miserable experience into an adventure. You know, throwing the tent up inside and letting them hang out in there. Plus, from a mother's standpoint, just to know that my children were going to be comfortable and warm in a tent. If we still had little kids at home, this would be a game changer during a power outage, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, that would make it a lot more difficult if you had kids, if you didn't have a way to make it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I guess nowadays, I mean, having some kind of electronic device, which we're going to get to that later, but
yeah.
Shelter and heat are the two main things. So hopefully everybody lives in a house.
Yeah.
Then, of course, this would, even if you lived in a house, confining your area to heat would also be of benefit. So getting in here with a candle, you know, would be warmer than just sitting in your living room with a candle, you know, if that's all you have.
True.
Then you also have to have water. I mean, we collected water in containers before just in case the pipes froze or anything like that. So, you know, it's a good idea to get a pretty good store of water, enough to last you, you know, the whole length of that you thought you might be snowed in.
Use your bathtub, save your water to flush your toilets, to keep water that you can keep your animals' water from freezing. You'll have to keep that available, so that works well too.
So shelter and water are really important. Then comes food, of course. Canned would be the easiest. You know, you could eat it cold: bread, sandwiches, milk, mayonnaise. You know, whatever you, anything that doesn't involve cooking is something that needs to be thought about. But if you have a way to cook stuff, I mean, a hot meal on a cold day.
Oh yeah.
You know, it changes your attitude too, as much as a fire does. You know.
True. True. I love this little thing.
Yeah, those little burners
about
are inexpensive. This came from Amazon, probably. I know it did. I mean, they $9, $10, $12. I've had it a little while. I can't exactly remember. It goes down in that thing. It's a backpacking thing. But ability to turn this on and make coffee or heat a can of beans, you know, in its simplest form, is nice.
Yeah, and it just as long as you don't turn it over.
Yeah, you have to be careful for it because it's not the most stable thing.
Yeah.
Next step up would be like a camp stove, which is much better. All of these things you got to be careful with using inside the house because of carbon monoxide. I mean, if you can use them outside, that's best. I wouldn't be so worried about this little thing inside, you know, heating up a cup of coffee or a can of beans. But I mean, as far as cooking a whole meal, you never need to sleep with something that I mean, with really a flame. You know.
We've got a carbon monoxide monitor, and it's battery. Is it battery pack?
It's
battery backup.
Wall and battery.
Okay.
But I still, you know.
I still wouldn't want to sleep with any.
Yeah. I mean, she was stranded at her mom's house because her mom is elderly, and we thought that this might happen. And so I was here alone. All I was worried about, I mean, I had a blanket and I had a candle, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did have some of these I did have a heater that I would turn on some during the day, but I was usually dressed enough during the day that I was fine, you know. I did have a generator, but that was just for keeping some baby chicks alive. I wouldn't have had to have it otherwise.
Yeah. So these are some things that we can use to charge our batteries, computers, or cell phones. You can also, if you know you're possibly going to lose power, go ahead and charge your laptops up. Not necessarily to use them, but you can use them to charge your cell phone off of your laptop.
That's a battery source.
Battery source, so we did that. This is a little speaker that we use a good bit, but it's got a battery pack, and you can charge your cell phones off of it.
It's on now.
Oh, is it on now?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's something else. I mean, you always need to check the stuff, make sure it's not on when you don't need it, and make sure it's off.
I'm wasting it. Okay.
And then there's a little solar charger here that definitely has its place if it's sunny, you know. Yeah. And it's not going to charge near as fast as one of the battery things, but you know, it doesn't. If you have the sun, that's all it needs, you know. Yeah. So of course you have to have the cord that goes to your phone.
Yeah. And
then there's other battery packs that you can buy. And this is a battery jumper, you know, that I keep in my truck for jumping people off. But it also has a flashlight on it, multi-purpose, and it also has a charging port for. I mean, I charge my phone like 10 or 15 times off this thing if it's fully charged. And all this stuff, of course, we charge before the snowstorm gets here. It's too late after the power's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and that little battery pack thing, how many times can you charge your phone off of that thing?
I think like 5 times, you know. Oh. And I mean, they and this probably came off of Amazon too. Oh, it came from Radio Shack. I don't think there is a Radio Shack anymore.
No.
But they, those battery packs are, I mean, they're real handy and they're inexpensive. You can get one that just holds 2 charges.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be more conscious of your usage, you know. I mean, you're not going to be able to play games all night or do Facebook or Snapchat or whatever it is. Snapchat on it all night, you know.
Did you think it was Snapchat?
I knew it was Snap something. Snapchat.
Snapchat.
But you don't chat on it though, do you?
No, we'll have to get one of the kids. I don't have it on my phone either, so we'll get one of the kids to show
But I thought
it
was just a picture thing.
I think it is just a picture thing.
Well, then why is there chat in there?
I don't know. I think they chat between each other with them. We'll get one of the kids to show us. So.
I don't need anybody to show me no social media stuff.
Okay. So here's one of our heat sources. We actually used this in the Airstream. When we were living in the Airstream, it worked really well. The good thing is this uses the same bottles as the cook stove does, and you can also hook this up on it. So if you have these, you can use all 3 different sources. And he also has a hose that he can refill these off of the big propane tank. So yeah, this one comes in handy. We used it a little bit last night. And then the big one. And then we also have a kerosene heater inside that we use to knock the chill off the air. So you don't have to have a kerosene heater, but we like ours.
Yeah, I mean, it got to like 9 degrees. I mean, we don't ever have, I mean, we very seldom have temperatures that low and this much snow and this much ice. I mean, it's like a once in 10-year thing. So
yeah, I
mean, it's pretty tough when it hits around here. But then we like flashlights and stuff like that, you know. It's just nice to have a light handy too. I usually do keep a flashlight in my pocket. I mean, I said all I needed was a candle and a blanket, but I do have a flashlight that I usually keep in my pocket, and I set it on my nightstand. So, you know, to get up in the middle of the night to put some gas in the generator or go to the restroom, I had my little flashlight with me.
The thing I love about headlamps is it frees your hands up. If you're outside taking care of the animals or, you know, checking on pipes that might be busted, if you'll have this on, you'll have your hands free. So I love the headlamp. Plus, you can shine it wherever you're working. This is one of my favorite lights. It's a solar powered lantern. We use it all the time when we're camping. We'll just put it out on the campsite when we're out fishing and playing during the day, and then we'll come back at night. It'll be fully charged. It does have an adapter, so you can plug it into electricity to charge it if you need to, if the sun's not out, but we use the fire out of this thing. So we'll put some links in the comments section too to where we got these things. So
yeah, those came locally though.
Yeah, we got these at one of the local lumber stores, lumber building stores. They were on sale. We should have bought all of them. I love these things. So of course a handy flashlight works great. One of my favorite things to light is an old kerosene lantern. I'm sure your mom, maybe your grandparents have some of these. laying around. If they've got extras, see if you can get one and keep some kerosene to put in it. So this is just very soothing to me at night when I'm reading a book, or I just love that. I love that for a light source.
And that's, that's part of it. The nostalgia that she gets out of watching that kerosene lantern burn. I mean, if that's comforting to her,
yeah, it is.
Then that's part of it,
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of a game. It's kind of a head game too when you're going without the comforts.
It's always a head game.
It is a head game. So you got to think about the things that will make you more comfortable, make your kids more comfortable, and plan for those things. So.
Yeah, all this stuff needs to be planned for before, really long before it hits. I mean, here everybody runs out to get their milk and bread, and that's their prepping here before an ice storm.
Yeah.
And I have no idea.
I could do without them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sandwiches are nice. They're handy.
But you can't make a milk sandwich.
No, you can't make them.
I mean, that's what they get. Is I mean, that's the thing, milk and bread.
Yeah.
But the having it in your head that it's not going to be as good, probably, as when the power's on and the roads are great and all that. You just got to prep beforehand, not not the day before, 2 days before. A lot of this stuff can be worked on, like starting right now. I mean, if you just got through it like us, I mean, I know we need more candles.
Yeah, we need more candles.
Non-scented, preferably.
Yeah.
So that, we don't have all these crazy scents going on in the house.
Yeah.
So prep beforehand, and then ice storms and stuff like this will be a lot easier on you. So.
And being organized with all of your supplies, keeping everything together, get a big Tupperware box and keep everything in it. Because you're not going to be able to find them in the back corner of the attic when you don't have any lights. So, and if you can't find them, you can't get your hands on them easily, you're not going to be able to use them. So we keep most of our camping stuff all together. A lot of it stays in the teardrop. So that makes it so much easier to have everything in one centralized location. Yeah,
we haven't touched on generators or anything because, like I said, we don't use them that much. I did run one for a little bit for some chicks, and then you may be able to hear a generator in the background from the neighbor's house. I guess the generators are good for being able to watch TV and play video games and all that. So if that's something, that's going to be, that will be an investment.
Well, and if you have a big freezer too, to be able to keep your food from thawing.
Now, we also had freezers, we got a lot of food in ours, all kinds of food that we worked hard and grew and went after and harvested. And she made a bunch of water bottles and stacked every crevice and crack that was dead space with water and let it freeze so that thermal mass would be up. We went fine without having any supplementary power to our freezer. We didn't go in it, but we made it fine without it.
Probably better to put a sleeping bag or something around the freezer too, if you're going to be without power for a while. That'll help insulate it and keep the thermal mass frozen in there.
Yeah, we had one freezer outside and one inside, but both of them did fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
So, I mean, I guess it goes to, how much you want to get into it, I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, you can, go crazy, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah. So be thinking about what you miss the most, what you think would have done the best to keep you comfortable. Anybody out there that's got any comments or tips for us on different things that we could benefit from, or that y'all enjoy using?
Yeah, that'd be neat to know. I mean, what everybody else does,
Yeah, give us some comments and let us know what you think we should try to add to our camping survival supplies.
So like, subscribe, hit that little bell, and
big shout out to the 4 county people for getting our lights on. We just got them on not long ago. So
any of your electrical workers,
thank you everybody behind the scenes, all the linemen, all of the, I don't know who all you are, but you know who you are.
Law enforcement, fire department, all those guys that are out there and have to deal with the worst of weather and the worst of people. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah. Okay, y'all.
That's it for us today.
Well, y'all go get prepared for the next snowstorm.
Bye.
Bye.